disrespectful. But I've heard a lot say, hey, that's what I fight for. I fight for them to do that. Now, that's their place of work, and there's no rules last year. There's no rules against it currently. And so what they're doing is fine. I fight for that. I fight for you not to have to do anything because we're so free here, right?
Yeah, and me personally, I didn't feel like it was disrespectful for them to kneel because they wanted to bring attention to a cause. And again, that is their right, okay, because there wasn't a rule against it. But now there is a rule in place. So now I think it's disrespectful if they do come out and kneel, not necessarily to their flag, but to their job. I mean, if it's just like, you were saying, in your job, you can't grow a big full beard because you're working around food.
Right, yeah.
So you're not going to go do that because that's just blatantly disrespectful to your bosses.
Right.
So, and yes, the NFL's bottom line is money. They are a business.
100%.
They are going to do everything they can to make the most money for their owners. I mean, everybody loves to talk about, fans this, fans that. The NFL, as long as the fans are paying to come to the games, buying gear, either at the stadium or online, paying $12 for a beer, paying the absorbent prices for food at the stadium, the NFL is going to keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, and on a side note, when you hear people complain about parking, they're parking so much, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, did you pay it? Yeah, that's your fault.
Yep.
That's your fault. Don't go. If people don't go, the market is what determines what the price is. Because guess what? If everybody goes and they pay the money, boom. Anyways, going up. But anyways, what we're saying is, the NFL owners are about that dollar. Mm-hmm. And they think that the kneeling was hurting their dollar. And so they're going to start, I don't know. One way to do it is, I don't know. You could have everybody you could have all the players just stay in the locker room and stay focused on the game. But I don't know. I don't know. I think the players will become creative and they'll come up with a different way to do a protest. And so that's what we'll see. And it'll be interesting. It'll be really interesting. And my thing is this. If a protest is peaceful and there's no rules that you work against it or whatever, I'm fine.
Yeah,
do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. I don't care. People were talking about the years ago when the players used to do the big celebrations, and there was no rules against it yet, right?
Yep. I mean, Emmitt Smith used to take his helmet off every time he scored a touchdown because there wasn't a rule against it.
I'm all for it.
And he said, I want people to see my face.
I'm all for it. I'm all for that.
And they made a rule against it. He stopped doing it.
And now they brought it back, right? You could do, I can't remember. It's a little more specific, right? Anyways.
But yeah, if
totally
you want a peaceful protest,
totally, man,
do it. But, my deal is like, and me personally, I coach in high school football every Friday night. They do play the anthem before our games. And I have just always preferred to be in the locker room with the team during that time. Just getting us focused on the game, doing our last minute prep, and not being out there standing during the anthem. And the NFL did that for a long time where they didn't come out until after the anthem was played.
Dang it.
And I don't think it's disrespectful to stay in the locker room and keep doing what you're doing. I mean, people that are back in the concourse, there's fans that are at the game that are back there smoking, buying beer, talking, being loud.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's funny too, right? Not everybody does that, and then they went, I'm like, yo, you're.
But I think if you're in your seat at the stadium again, you should stand and be respectful.
Personally,
to the national anthem.
Personally, I will. But like I said, the peaceful stuff. Yeah. They're not. I'm cool with that, man. Totally cool.
And if I am not in the locker room during the national anthem, even if I'm up in the press box, I'm standing and being respectful.
You know what? And I like to read about this kind of stuff and I like to read about everything. I like to get takes on it and cite sources and stuff like that. One thing I had read was that the players didn't start coming out and standing. The government actually paid the NFL to have them do that, right?
Really? See, I don't know how that all started.
I'll have to look that up. It was like the armed force, some kind of armed forces, something or other, actually paid the NFL for the NFL to have the players be out there for a show of patriotism. And so the NFL took the money, right?
Yep.
And so
I mean, that's what they're going to do every time.
It's all about the money. So
we
can talk about this forever.
Yeah, but bottom line, we're not saying that peaceful protests should not be allowed. We're not saying that what the players were protesting and is happening is right. Because we definitely have a problem in America. It might be a gun problem, it might be a people problem, but we're not going to get into all that. But if you have a problem with something and you have a peaceful way to protest that's not against the law or the rules of your job, then you have the right to do that. That is what we do in America.
Yeah.
So, you can tweet it out. You can put it on your Facebook. You can do whatever you want. I mean, as long as it's within the law.
Yeah, and then the thing is, we talk about the kneeling and stuff. It worked. It worked.
Did. It brought attention to the issue.
People talked about it, and some people would say, it didn't work. All it did was people talk about kneeling. No, people talked about the reason why. They did. And then they would talk about it. I mean, it worked. So they'll come up with I'm sure they'll come up with some other kind of creative way to do it and way to get around the rule or something. This is going to be very interesting going forward.
It is. So, all right. Well, hey, that's the show this week. Variety of topics, NBA, NFL stuff, the I-70 series, like I said, like we always say, man, tweet at us, Midwest Mics, Facebook, all the social media. Let us know what you think. We want to be interactive with our fans, so tweet at us. We'll talk to you. We'll get your ideas on the show. If you want to be on the show, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah,
anything else?
Yeah, anything want to talk about? No, that's it, man. Wrapping up the show.
So, all right. Well, hey, we'll be right back with another show next week.